Okay. We were live. Hope it's going well for everybody.
Sean, aka
Hey, Sean.
Trendy. What's up, Trendy Nay, the guru of common sense?
I said that we were going to go live for this Jeremy Powell. Jeremy. I don't know what it is. I always get confused whether it's Jeremy or Jerome. Powell's going to be announcing the Fed rate hike today. It's going to go up 0.1%. We're going to be watching. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here goes the big drop. Look at this. This is what I was waiting for right here. Look at this giant drop in crypto right now. It's happening right now. Big free fall. 17.9. We were up to 18.385.
Hey, Nay.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is scary, huh? God, I hope we're live. Huh? Are we live on Rumble or not? Can anybody verify if we're live on Rumble? Oh my God, I think I screwed up.
Sean, aka Trendy Orca. Hash Hodlgang.
Oh boy. Okay, we're live. Token Tony Z's here. Thank you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Token Tony Z, for verifying that we are indeed live. Okay, good. Boy, oh boy. Trump support craters. DeSantis is plus 22. In a plus 22 lead over Donald Trump. Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey, Nay.
Trump supporters are going to be flipping out today.
Episode and thought how cool of a show would be called Eating with Nay.
Yeah, Patrick, you thought that one up all on your own, I bet. Poor Patrick, man. You just can't win, man. Turns out, dude, I used to do Cooking with Nay years ago, bro. It's already been done. Did a lot of it. It's not called Eating with Nay. It's called Cooking with Nay, you fool. Why don't you Google that shit, bro? Why haven't you been watching those? God, I've made so many good meals in California. Anyway, you know, my hair, I noticed my hair's a little
Billy Bong Thornton.
A little
Howdy
like that.
ho.
I think I could do better.
Patrick John Welder.
I think I can do a better job on my hair.
I remember LOL, all the steaks.
Oh, now all of a sudden now you remember that you came up with an idea that I already come up with years ago. Oh, that's good. Billy Bong. I mean, Cooking with Nay works great. A lot of people liked it. You know, a lot of people liked it. Some people used to complain and say, dude, you're making me hungry. I got to go eat now.
Sean, a.k.a. Trendy Orca. Remember when you did that, Nay, I enjoyed each and every time you go live.
So you guys remember I told you at 2 p.m. we would be going over and watching Jerome. It looks like Jerome. Jerome. That's Jerome. Jerome Powell with two L's, my bad. He's going to be briefing us on interest rates today. We're expecting
Billy Bong Thornton.
Major moves on the market.
What's going on in the news today?
Well, I can't believe the free fall drop we are seeing right now. It keeps going up to 18 and bouncing back down right now. There is a huge, we're looking at it. We're seeing it happen, man. 980, 969. Oh my goodness gracious, 956. So this massive free fall, and there is a giant, we don't know what the market's going to do. I have a feeling a lot of people are anticipating what's about to happen right now, and they're selling. If you bought at 16,000, a whole bunch of people are selling to make a quick buck. And somebody came in earlier and actually said that today. They're like, some people are going to be selling off if they buy. I think it was Billy Valentine. But this might be kind of a lengthy show, so I'm going to go do my hair real quick. It's just going to take a minute. I'll be right back.
Canamango it. $HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. Hi.
Hey, can a man go eat? What's up? Remember when you did that, Nate? Okay, what's going on in the news today? Okay.
Jimmy Carter. Hickory Dickory Dock. The
Hey, Jimmy Carter, what's up, buddy?
The clock struck 5. The monkey went down Hickory Dickory Dock. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Canamango it. $HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. Not too much. Not eating at the moment.
Right on.
Bigmac 83. Yo.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, everybody? I did my hair, can you tell? It's the cool thing about having short hair, bro, is I can just do it really fast.
She doesn't read riddles well.
No, she does not. She does not. Nor does she appreciate being forced to read them, I'm sure. I mean, did you hear that attitude when she read your freaking poem, bro? She didn't like it. She was like, oh, trying to be all jerky quirky with it. Weird.
Bigmac 83. Hey, Jimmy thought you were trolling, bud. Canamango it.
No.
HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. Want a riddle? What is being privileged? Jimmy Carter. Lol. Jeffrey Pettigrew. U.S. stocks turn lower, yields tick higher after Fed rate decision. Canamango it. $HEIT.
Yeah, we're watching it live happen right now, man. It's crazy.
Do any of us think DAPPL running city privileged?
But the...
Bigmac 83. My bad.
I mean, they haven't really announced yet, have they? We're waiting for the official announcement. I can't believe how many people sold off at 18,385. They all just sold everybody just sold out, man, their positions. It's crazy. I have a feeling it might recover, but I mean, if people want to get in under 18, it's under 18 right now. We'll see if it goes back over though or not. I don't know. I have to pull out my 18K Bollinger Bands. I don't want to pull out my 18K Bollinger Bands on you guys. You know, I don't want to step it up to that level yet. But hey, man, if I have to go to the weapons rack, I will do so.
Dumped my BTC, plus shorted it, made good money.
Oh, you're the one that dumped the market.
Carter. What did they do with that Sam Bankman Friday?
All the traders just dumped, bro. Sam Bankman-Fried is not going to be freed for quite some time. He's going to be Sam Bankman not freed.
HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. I found out the word privilege comes from the root words privy, which means private, and lege, which means law.
Hey,
Joe H. Sold 132 BTC.
Can a man go eat? Nobody cares. You know, I don't mean to be rude to you because you're being rude to all of us. Okay? So I'm going to be a little rude to you. Okay? You've come into my podcast. You notice that we're all talking about the Fed. That's the title. We've got the cryptos are up. Joe H has come in. We're talking about he just sold 132 Bitcoin. We're talking business money moves. And you're talking about privilege, and you're talking about, you know, philosophical questions that none of us give a fuck about. So not only are you rude, but you're a fucking prick for just coming in here and being one. You understand that? So you can either, you know, at this point, you know, you could change your stupid fucking name and come in here with a normal one.
Canamango it. $HEIT.
Because I'm sick of hearing your name.
Quest. Ion.
While you try to avoid.
Stick to business, sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, stick to business with us, man, because that's where we're at. It's good. I just want to make it known that if I'm going to, be nice enough to let your voice be heard on my show, you could be nice enough to fucking stick to the goddamn topic. Right? And not try to subvert my show out from underneath me. Nobody wants to talk about your bullshit. But I appreciate you being nice to me. You don't fucking deserve to be me being nice to you right now. Okay? Because you came in here like a fucking cocksmoker. So, yeah, I'll accept your apology, but you're still going to get berated a little bit. Because you deserve it. Just so fucking rude. I'd love to see who the people are on the other sides of these names sometimes, Just to see what you look like. I want to see what you look like, man. I just want to see your face.
I'm guessing she spilled
God,
the beans first to get
what a
the
sale, Joe. Joe, where did you purchase those at?
132 at 18,250.
How much money did you just make, bro? Oh my God. You definitely made more than a Bitcoin on that little deal. So a whole bunch of people stocked up on Bitcoin. I just wonder, where are you going to repurchase, Joe? Are you planning on getting back in? What's your plan? The Fed decision is in 15 minutes. Hey, I'm sorry I said 2. They pushed it up to 2:30, everybody. My bad.
$HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. I hit the like, fellow sentient.
Fellow sentient. That was a weird announcement. Huh. Weird. It was a Discord
Joe
announcement
H.
and disappeared.
I'm done with Bitcoin. O'Leary sealed the deal in his testimony.
O'Leary? Who is O'Leary? What testimony are you talking about?
Jimmy Carter. I'm planning on buying Bitcoin February.
February?
See how it goes any lower.
Dude, Joe, really? You're done, huh? I mean, I could see you getting out, but at the same time, I'm a little shocked because Ethereum is still
Jimmy
over
Carter.
1,300,
Kevin
and
O'Leary.
Bitcoin is still over 17.7 or 17.6, I should say. It survived the initial sell-off of y'all doing your selling off. You did your sell-off. We were expecting it. Let's see how resilient crypto is. I mean, I wonder if you're going to be sad if it goes up to 19 today or 20. You even said it could go up to 20.
$HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. Any dispensaries accept Bitcoin?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Tula Rose. I got out too.
Really, Tula?
Joe H. We still have to hear Jerome at 230.
Yeah, at 2:30 exactly.
Panamango.
And then we're going to keep our eye on this when
It's
Jeremy
a
Powell
very
comes up.
philosophical quest. Ion.
So we're going to bring that screen
Or have
up.
things to exchange Bitcoin for cash machines.
We've got a you can't go full screen on a pod. It's so stupid. I can't go full screen on this. But I've got my tricks. I've got my tricks. I can be as full screen as I need to be. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. I can be as full screen as I need to be. See that? Look at us. So we're just going to leave this right here.
Jimmy Carter.
And we'll see when it
New
starts.
drug dealer
We'll be ready.
accepts Bitcoin.
I'll put the notification on. We've got 13 minutes. So we got 13 minutes to get HAF. That's high as F. Me. Oh, really, Jimmy Carter? That's hilarious. My dealer accepts crypto. Yeah, mine did too, actually.
$HEIT.
We did the first transaction on the internet for, I remember me and Pinoy did the first transaction for,
I didn't know the voice would state
for,
pause.
concentrates
voice would exist.
on the internet. I remember that.
Casper.
I was like, dude, will you take Ethereum?
yes,
He's like,
love
hell yeah,
that.
I'll take Ethereum.
Jimmy
I can buy my
Carter.
NFTs with that shit.
But I like to think of him as a medicine healer, not a drug dealer. Canamango it. $HEIT.
Hey, you're the one that said it.
Very philosophical quest.
You're the one that said it.
Ion. Saying this name, peace hash out.
Anyway, I don't know what some of you guys are trying to do or say. I have no idea. But I know what I'm trying to do and say. I'm trying to say no law
Joe
regarding
H.
cannabis and smoke some cannabis.
Sold
Cheers.
for end-year taxes, clearing 7.7 mil in profits this year. Mostly shorting it.
Wow, bro.
Canamango it. $HEIT. It's a very philosophical quest. Ion. Hash. Hashish. Bye.
Dude, why do you keep saying goodbye in my live stream? You're just being a douchebag. And if you keep doing it, I'm just going to block you.
Jimmy Carter. Bong rips. Bong rips. Bong rips.
Yes, Jimmy Carter. Solar panels, solar panels, solar panels to you. Cheers. He's probably like, what?
Casper. Cheers.
Hey, Jimbo, you're not speaking in the Discord. What's up with Discord?
Casper. I think why got me muted.
I don't think so. Let me look. No, my Discord volumes are up. They're going to the right speakers. Your volume is on. I'll turn you up 10 more percent. You're fine. You're at 100% now. I had you at 90. Okay, you left. And now you're back. And now your mic is working. Fantastic. That wasn't hard. Discord does that to me too.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, that's one of the only problems I've ever had with Discord, and I don't mind it at all. It's like, Discord's so great. I don't mind a little glitch like that. Sometimes the mic doesn't work. You just got to
figure that out to the driver thing. Yep.
Here, let's darken this. I don't know what's going on right there.
I'm going to be growing soon, man.
You're going to be what?
We're doing an indoor grow in my apartment.
Oh, how cool is that?
8 plant grow, man. Yeah. We got
LED?
now, so. Yep, LED.
Nice, man. They got the fucking LED lights to do it now.
Yeah, got the space. We're ordering it all, so it's going to be, we're pretty excited.
Okay, so I think we're just going to we're gonna just take it easy here for a few minutes, wait for this announcement, keep our eye on the on Bitcoin.
It's high. Holy shit, it was like 18 something today.
Dude, Harmony's going nowhere. Matic's barely moving. Ethereum went all the way up to 1351. But people like Joe sold off their Bitcoin. If they were buying down at 16 and they bought a whole bunch, they were waiting for this, bro.
Yep. I'm just learning about this shit, so it's interesting.
That was the very first thought I had. I was like, I just bought like $3,500 of Bitcoin down at like 16,000, and I saw it up at 18. I was like, I could sell it right now and make a couple of bucks. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna hold on to that bitch. I'm just not trying. I'm just not trying to make some quick dollars.
It was funny.
I'm really hoping the market keeps going, man. So we'll see.
Yeah, we were gonna get involved in this too, but we're just waiting. We got the 10. We got a little bit of a. Anyway.
I mean,
Things are looking good now.
Joe H just said he thinks he's gonna reacquire possibly or something. I don't know if he said that. Somebody did. Joe, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy more Bitcoin, and how low do you think it's gonna go when you buy it? What's your? Because basically you said you weren't gonna do it anymore, right? Which wouldn't surprise me because it's so volatile, and who knows what the next big hit's gonna be to the market. How many millions did he say he made? Fuck, dude.
Excited to get involved with the creepy stuff.
He said he made $7.7 million in profit this year.
Jesus.
Yep. Yep, he's got to pay taxes on that. He said that's why he did this, so he could pay the taxes.
Surrounded by Keith.
Oh, that's a
Sup
little bit
NY
more.
cheers.
Now we just dropped under 900. But we're still okay, man. We'll just see. This was a hell of a drop. So this could just keep going or it could snap back. We'll just see. People really
Surrounded
take
by Keith.
advantage of the market, man, you know,
Congrats, Joe.
to make some quick money.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for.
What's like the least amount you think you want to buy in on that?
You
Like,
have to imagine how
you
many
think they
people
can-
it took to do that exact same thing that Joe just did. How many people had a whole bunch of Bitcoin, waited for it to go over 18, and then sold it a whole bunch? And then how many disappointed people just bought fucking $18,375 Bitcoin, and now they were watching it, it's at like 17.8, and they're like freaking out. Like, oh my God, I just bought that. It was more than $500 more expensive. Why didn't I just wait a few minutes? Oh. Or maybe the exchanges
Bob
just hold on
Saget.
to that. Maybe no one's that stupid.
Hi.
Hey, Bob Saget. Maybe nobody's that stupid.
Well, if history's proven anything. Quick fast.
This announcement starts in about 4 minutes. Four minutes.
So what is,
I'm good.
for those of us that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, what's he announcing?
What's that?
What's he announcing? Like, who is it?
I'm sorry, what? You're saying you want one? Oh, okay.
Bob Saget.
Oh,
About
okay.
4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Aha, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I gotcha. You're really
Surrounded
tricky.
by Keith.
Who
I didn't
does?
see the title.
0.5 lift in rates.
Who even does that? Who's even doing that? Oh, you can if you want, sure. Yeah, yes. Go where you wish.
Oh, my sister.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you don't mind.
I'm good, thank you.
I didn't know nuclear fusion was a thing.
Hmm?
I didn't know nuclear fusion had been achieved.
It hasn't really. Yeah, that's bullshit. It's they're just trying to get Biden reelected. It's all. If you read the article.
I'm so ominous.
Like, go research it a little bit and see.
I will.
They'll tell you it's 30 years off, something
Bob
like that.
Saget. Y'all ever bought glass with Bitcoin?
Did you just call cannabis grass?
Do you have a lighter for
No,
yourself?
Yeah, I'm
glass.
good. Thanks.
Like glass.
glass. Glass.
Yeah.
No, I haven't purchased a lot of things with crypto, really, bro. I haven't. I mean, I made a couple purchases, like, just to do it.
Bob Saget. Glass, not grass.
And I'm going to tell you why, Bob. It makes a lot of sense, okay? If I had $5 of gold and a $5 bill, and you said, hey, I want to sell you this bong for $5, you know, would I rather use my $5 bill, or would I rather use
Grass,
the gold?
A Great Book by Jack Hirado.
The gold that might be worth more money one day, and the $5 bill that will always be $5. I would rather give you the $5 and hold on to the gold, because the gold might be worth more one day. Same with crypto. The crypto might be worth $5 at that moment, but that same amount of crypto, that might be worth $10 in a day, if whatever crypto I'm going to give you doubles that day, right? And you never know. But that's why I never want to use crypto as a currency, because I know if I purchased it at a lower value as it's going up, it's an investment for me that I don't want to just pawn off. I want to do that. I want to sell it off when I need the money. But, you know, if I don't need the money, or if I believe the market's going to crash.
But it's tax-free.
Which is what it's doing right now. No, we're not talking about taxes. I don't know what you mean by tax-free. No, I don't know about tax-free. We're not talking about taxes. That's gonna confuse me. I don't know about taxes. I'm not a tax expert. Talk to Hippie Chick.
Bob Saget. I heard people who buy drugs online use it.
Use it. What? Oh, no, you're talking about, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, honey, babe, thank you. No. Bro, yes. And it has been used for drug
Jimmy
sales.
Carter.
Of course.
What?
Illegal drug sales. There was a website where people used to buy and sell drugs, and crypto was the currency. Yes, and I think that website finally got shut down. Let's not mention the name of it in the chat.
It be.
Don't talk about it.
Didn't say it.
Don't talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
Bob Saget.
Don't even get these motherfuckers talking about it.
You know, okay, cool.
All right? But yeah, there was a thing, and we're not allowed to talk about it because you're going to get my fucking channel in trouble. So, but yeah, yes, there absolutely was that was a thing. Absolutely. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it does become more popular in the future. If crypto ever gets more popular, it's kind of frustrating. You can hear the frustration in my voice because I'm just like waiting for everybody to catch up. You know, and everybody to have crypto so I can like start exchanging it with my friends and shit because everybody's got it. But it that has not happened. And I'm like one of the rare people that's into crypto, and I'm still, you know, I know a couple of millionaires around here that were into crypto, that are still into crypto. Here we go.
Over the course of the year, we've taken forceful actions to tighten the stance of monetary policy. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our rapid tightening
Chula
are
Rose.
yet to be felt.
Such be to nit be able talk openly. Jimmy Carter.
Okay, I'm just gonna mute this because you're obviously just not gonna listen to me, Jimmy Carter. I told you to stop fucking talking about it. So Jimmy Carter, you just got the whole chat muted for everybody. I told you to shut your fat fucking mouth about it. God, you're an idiot, aren't you? So now that I got the chat muted, I can bring up the volume on this, no problem. You know? Wow.
Say about today's monetary policy actions after briefly reviewing economic developments. The U.S. economy has slowed significantly from last year's rapid pace. Although real GDP rose at a pace of 2.9% last quarter, it is roughly unchanged through the first 3 quarters of this year. Recent indicators point to modest growth of spending and production this quarter. Growth in consumer spending has slowed from last year's rapid pace, in part reflecting lower real disposable income and tighter financial conditions. Activity in the housing sector has weakened significantly, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. Higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment. As shown in our summary of economic projections, the median projection for real GDP growth stands at just 0.5% this year and next, well below the median estimate of the longer-run normal growth rate. Despite the slowdown in growth, the labor market remains extremely tight, with the unemployment rate near a 50-year low, job vacancies still very high, and wage growth elevated. Job gains have been robust, with employment rising by an average of 272,000 jobs per month over the last 3 months. Although job vacancies have moved below their highs and the pace of job gains has slowed from earlier in the year, the labor market continues to be out of balance.
He's so hard to
demand
listen to.
Substantially exceeding the supply of available workers.
Like listening to
The
paint
labor
dry.
force participation rate is little changed since the beginning of the year. FOMC participants expect supply and demand conditions in the labor market to come into better balance over time, easing upward pressures on wages and prices. The median projection in the SEP for the unemployment rate rises to 4.6% at the end of next year. Inflation remains well above our longer-run goal of 2%. Over the 12 months ending in October, total PCE prices rose 6%. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 5%. In November, the 12-month change in the CPI was 7.1%, and the change in the core CPI was 6%. The inflation data received so far for October and November show a welcome reduction in the monthly pace of price increases. But it will take substantially more evidence to give confidence that inflation is on a sustained downward path. Price pressures remain evident across a broad range of goods and services. Russia's war against Ukraine has boosted prices for
Russia's
food
war
and
against
has
Ukraine.
contributed to
I
upward
love
pressure
it.
on inflation.
He's such a freaking cheerleader.
The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 5.6% this year and falls to 3.1% next year, 2.5% in 2024, and 2.1% in 2025. Participants continue to see risks to inflation as weighted to the upside. Despite elevated inflation, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of
Thank you,
households,
Jimmy.
businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. But that is not grounds for complacency. The longer the current bout of high inflation continues, the greater the chance that expectations of higher inflation will become entrenched. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. At today's meeting, the committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point, bringing the target range to 4.25% to 4.5%. And we are continuing the process of significantly reducing the size of our balance sheet. With today's action, we have raised interest rates by 4.25 percentage points this year. We continue to anticipate that ongoing increases in the target range for the federal funds rate will be appropriate in order to attain a stance of monetary policy that is sufficiently restrictive.
Is this going to put insurance rates at like 8%? I can't remember where we were at.
Over the course of the year,
I ain't buying shit with
financial
this
conditions
interest.
have tightened significantly in response
You know,
to
I ain't
our
buying a
policy
fucking
actions.
house. Fuck that.
Financial conditions fluctuate in the short term in response to many factors.
He's slowing
But it
down
is
growth
important
is what
that
he's
over
doing.
time, they reflect the policy restraint that we're putting in place to to return inflation to 2%. We are seeing the effects on demand in the most interest-sensitive sectors of the economy, such as housing.
I
It will take
desperately
time,
need
however,
a
for the
bong
full
rip
effects of
to listen to
monetary
this
restraint to be
moron.
realized, especially on inflation. In light of the cumulative tightening of monetary policy
like
and
a
the
good
lags
idea.
with which monetary policy
Hell
affects
yeah.
economic
I'm full of good
activity and
ideas.
inflation, the committee decided to
Yep.
raise interest rates by 50 basis points today, a step down from the 75 basis point pace seen over the previous 4 meetings. Of course, 50 basis points is still a historically large increase, and we still have some ways to go. As shown in the SEP, the median projection for the appropriate level of the federal funds rate is 5.1% at the end of next year.
All right, you guys,
A half
remember,
percentage point higher
watch
than
what you say
projected
in my chat.
September.
I'm going to turn you back up.
The median projection is 4.1% at the
Don't
end of
piss me off.
2024, and 3.1%.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
2025,
I like me when I'm not angry.
Still above the median estimate of its longer run value. Of course, these projections do
Jiminy,
not represent
Jiminy,
the
oh, Jiminy,
decisional
cheers.
plan, and no one knows with
Cheers.
any certainty
Cheers,
where
everybody.
the economy will be a year or more from now.
Yo.
Our decisions will depend on the
Surrounded
totality of
BP.
incoming data and their implications for the
NLRC.
outlook for economic activity and inflation. And we will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting and communicate our thinking as clearly as possible. We are taking forceful steps to moderate demand so that it comes into better alignment with supply.
Canamango it.
Our overarching
$HEIT.
focus
It's
is
a very
using our
philosophical
tools to bring
quest.
inflation
Ion.
back down to our 2%
I'll
goal
come in with a
and
short
to keep
ER
longer-term
username
inflation
then.
expectations
Thank you.
well anchored.
I really appreciate that.
Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth and some softening of labor market conditions.
Nick Brown.
Restoring price stability is
Hey,
essential
guys.
to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the
Hey,
long
Nick.
run. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. We will stay the course until the job is done. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission.
Bob Saget.
We at the Fed will do everything
Problem
we can
is
to
none.
achieve our maximum employment.
Here goes
price
the drop on
stability
crypto.
goals.
As
Thank you.
he's
I will
as
look
he's
forward to your
speaking,
questions.
as he's speaking, it's literally happening.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Thanks for taking my question, Mr. Chairman. You just talked about the importance of market conditions reflecting the policy restraint you put in place.
Big Mc
Since the
83.
November meeting, the 10-year has declined by 60 basis points. Mortgage rates have come down. High-yield credit spreads have come in. The economy's accelerated, and the stock
Surrounded
market's up
BP.
6%.
Has the Fed ever
Is
had a
this
soft
loosening
landing
of
rather
financial
than
conditions
causing a
problem
recession?
for the Fed in its effort
Bob
and its fight
Saget.
against inflation? And if so,
The way this
do you need to
voice
do something
says
about
Saget
that?
though
How would you do
weird.
something about that? Thank you.
So as I mentioned, it is important that overall financial conditions continue to reflect the policy restraint that we're putting in place to bring inflation down to 2%. We think that financial conditions have tightened significantly in the past year, but our policy actions work through financial conditions, and those in turn affect economic activity, the labor market, and inflation. So what we control is our policy moves and the communications that we make. Financial
Okay.
conditions both anticipate
So, in
and
order to
react
bring
our
inflation
actions.
down,
I
they're
would
going
add
to
that our
discourage
focus
people
is
like
not
me from
short-term
buying a
moves,
house
but
by
on persistent
raising
moves.
interest rates, and that in turn is
many
supposed to
things
make
will
these
smooth
people that are
financial
selling
conditions over
homes
time.
drop the prices of their
I would
homes,
say it's our
drop
judgment
the
today
prices
that
of
we're not
everything.
as
That's
sufficiently
lowering
restricted policy
inflation,
stance
right?
yet, which is why we say
Do you
that
think
we
people are really
expect,
going to respond that way?
that ongoing hikes will
Because
be
I'm not going to buy
appropriate.
anything
I
at
would
this
point you
interest
to
rate.
the
I don't care what
again,
price you
for,
offer me on that house.
our current
I'm not
assessment
buying it
of
fucking
what-
7,
of what the
8%.
peak level will be. As you will have seen.
And I have a feeling a lot of other
19
Americans
people
refuse to
filled
pay
out
those interest
the,
rates too.
The SEP this time, and
Especially when their credit's probably not as
17
good as
of
mine,
those 19
and their
worked
interest rates are
out a
double
peak
what I
rate
have to
of
pay.
5% or
You know,
more
just
in
because the
bond.
federal rate is
That's
8%,
our best
they probably go
assessment
try to
today.
apply for a
What we
loan,
think
and
the
they're like,
peak
well,
rate is.
you could do 16% with you, you
You
know?
also know that at each subsequent SEP during the course of this year,
I
we've
just said a
actually
lot of things,
increased
Tula.
our
I don't
estimate
know
of
what you
that
said
peak
no
rate
to.
will
I'm
be.
sorry.
And today, the SEP that were published shows again that overwhelmingly FOMC participants believe that inflation risks are to the upside. So
Surrounded
I can't
be
tell you
Keith.
confidently that we won't
That's the point.
move up our estimate
Demand
of the peak
was
rate
too
again at
high.
the next SEP. I don't know what we'll do. It will depend on
Bob
future data.
Saget.
What we're writing down today
It's
is our
illegal to
best
smoke in a
estimate
motor vehicle
of what we
moving
think that
or not
that peak
according
rate
to
will be
Illinois
based on
laws,
what we
this
know.
related.
Obviously, if the inflation data come in worse, That could move up.
Rob
It
Saget.
could move down if
Some
inflation
live in
data
motor
are
vehicle homes.
softer.
No, it's not related, Bob.
Gina Smilik, New York Times.
But thanks for
for your
asking
questions.
if it was related. It's not.
The SEP, like you mentioned,
Dude, just
suggested
pay
the
attention to what's
Fed will
being
be
said
making
here,
another
okay?
3/4 percentage points worth of rate increases in 2023. I wonder if you would foresee that being in 25 basis point increments, 50 basis point increments, sort of how you see the speed playing out going forward. And then I wonder what you're looking at as you determine when to stop.
Billy Ballantyne liked my tweet.
As I've been saying, as we've gone through the course of this year, as we lifted off and got into the course of the year, and we saw how strong inflation was and how persistent, it was very important to move quickly. In fact, the speed, the pace with which we were moving was the most important thing. I think now that we're coming to the end of this year, we've raised 425 basis points this year, and we're into restrictive territory. It's now not so important how fast we go. It's far more important to think, what is the ultimate level? And then at a certain point, the question will become, how long do we remain restrictive? That will become the most important question. But I would say the most important question now is no longer the speed. So, and that applies to February as well. So I think we'll make the February decision based on the incoming data and where we see financial conditions, where we see the economy. And that'll be the key thing
Rob
but I mean,
Saget.
for that decision. But
Sure,
ultimately,
whatever you say, G, as
that
mother
question about
freaking
how high to
host.
raise rates is going to be one that we make looking at our progress on inflation, looking at where financial conditions are, and making an assessment of whether policy is restrictive enough. I've told you today we have an assessment that we're not at a restrictive enough stance, even with today's move, and we've
Rob
laid out
Saget.
our individual
Or
assessments
else.
of what we would need to do to
Right.
get there. At a certain point, though, we'll get to that point, and then the question will be how long do we stay there? And there
Rob Saget.
the strong view on
Ha
the
ha.
committee is that we need to stay there, until we're really confident that inflation's coming down in a sustained way, and we think that will be some time. Now, why do I
Bye,
say
Bob
that? If you
Saget.
Look at you can break inflation down into three sort of buckets. The first is goods inflation, and we see now, as we've been expecting really for a year and a half, that supply conditions would get better, and ultimately supply chains get fixed, and demand settles down a little bit. And
Quarter of the hour.
Services a little bit, and we start to see goods.
Quarter
inflation
of the
We're now
hour.
starting to see
Quarter
that,
of the hour.
in this report.
Quarter
and the last
of the hour.
then you go to
Quarter
housing
of the
services. We
hour.
know the story there
Quarter
is
of
that
the
housing
hour.
services
Quarter
inflation
of
has
the
been very,
hour.
very high and will
Quarter
continue to
of
go
the
up,
hour.
actually.
Quarter of the
as-
hour.
as
Quarter
rents-
of camera number one.
as rents
Camera number two.
expire and have
Camera
to be
number one.
renewed,
Camera
they
number
can be
two.
renewed
Camera
into
number
a-
one.
into a market where
Camera
rents are
number
higher
two.
than
Camera
they
number
were
one.
when the original
Camera number two.
leases.
Camera number one.
But we see that the new leases that the rate for new leases is coming down. So
You even
once we
smoke
work our way
cannabis
through
anymore,
that
Jiminy?
backlog,
What?
that inflation will come down sometime
occasionally.
next year.
No law regarding
It's
it.
Something like
The cannabis.
55%
Cheers.
of the index, PCE, core inflation index, is non-housing related core services. And that's really a function of the labor market largely. The biggest cost by far in that sector is labor. And we do see a very, very strong labor market. One where we haven't seen much
Surrounded
softening, where
BP.
job growth is very high, where wages are very
Cheers.
high, vacancies are quite elevated.
Jeffrey
and really there's
Pettigrew.
an imbalance in the labor market.
Twilight
between supply
Zone
and demand.
LOL.
So
As
that
long
part
as
of
we're
it, which
above
is the biggest part,
these two numbers,
is likely to
we're
take
okay.
a substantial period to get down. The goods inflation has turned pretty quickly now, after not turning at all for a year and a half. Now it seems to be turning, but there's an expectation really that the services inflation will not move down so quickly, so that we'll have to stay at it, so that we may have to raise rates higher to get to where
Wonder
we're
what this
going.
did to
That's
my,
really why we are
portfolio.
writing down those high rates and why we're expecting that they'll have to remain there.
I found that guy that says the market's going to crash. It's not this December.
Howard
It's next
Shire with
December.
Reuters. Thanks for taking the question. You described GDP growth in the SEPs as moderate or modest, I believe. Yet it's really approaching stall speed. Half a percentage point is not much. You described labor market unemployment rate as representing some softening, but it's nearly a full percentage point rise, and that's well in excess of what has historically been associated with recession. Why wouldn't this be considered a recessionary projection by the Fed?
Well, I'll tell you what the projection is. I don't think it would qualify as a recession, though, because you've got positive growth. The expectations in the SEP are basically, as you said, which is we've got growth at a modest level, which is to say about a 0.5 percentage point. That's positive growth. It's slow growth. It's well below trend. It's not going to feel like a boom. It's going to feel like very slow growth, right? In that condition, labor market conditions are softening a bit. Unemployment does go up a bit. I would say that many analysts believe that the natural rate of unemployment is actually elevated.
It's like the more he talks, the lower the value drops, bro. I'm waiting. We're $6 away on Ethereum, $7 away from being under where we want to be.
With great precision.
And Bitcoin is still good.
Still a strong labor market. If you look,
it's
the reports
$200 above our Bollinger Band. So we're good on Bitcoin for right now.
Reluctant to lay people
If it keeps
off.
dropping $200, that's the sign that it's going to keep going.
Hold
So
on to the workers they have because it's
let's see how
very,
resilient
very
it
hard
is
to hire. So, and you've got all these vacancies out there, far in excess of the number of employed people. That doesn't sound like a labor market where a lot of people will need to be put out of work. So that
is his voice cutting off for you, or can you hear everything that's being
the
said?
labor market can come back into balance with relatively modest increases in unemployment, I believe.
Okay,
None
cool.
of that is guaranteed, but
I just hope it's not cutting
that is
out.
what their forecast reflects.
Thanks, Nick Temeros of the Wall
It's,
Street Journal. Chair Powell,
it's,
I want to follow
it's,
up on Gina's question. The decision to step down
Newfoundland
the pace
420.
of
Did I
rate
even
increase
smoke quarter of the hour? I don't
advises,
remember. I think I did,
appears
but
to
I don't
have been
remember.
Socialized at your last
I don't
meeting,
remember.
largely before the past two CPI
It's
reports
Newfoundland,
showed
420 in
inflation
Newfoundland.
accelerating in line with the committee's forecast this year.
Crazy.
You just now talked about making decisions meeting by meeting
Okay.
and being
No
mindful of
law
rising
regarding
costs.
cannabis.
Does
Jiminy,
that mean
cheers.
all
Cheers, everybody in the
things
chat.
equal,
Jeffrey
you feel more
Pettigrew,
comfortable
surrounded by
probing
Keith.
where the terminal
Everyone that's
rate
over there on the
is
Rumble
by
sphere.
moving in 25 basis
That's
point
Token
increments,
Donny
including
Cheers, everybody.
beginning of the next year.
Probably hippie chick too.
I haven't made a judgment on what size rate hike to make at the last meeting. But what you said is broadly right, which is having moved so quickly, and having now so
Surrounded
much
VP.
restraint that's still in the pipeline, we think that
NLRC
the
puff
appropriate
puff
thing to
pass.
do now is to move to a slower pace, and that will allow us to feel our way and and get to that level, we think, and better balance the
Jeffrey
risks that we
Pettigrew.
face. So that's the idea.
Cheers.
It makes a lot of sense.
Cheers.
Looking at the markets
Particularly if
and
you
me being an
consider how
equity
far we've
trader,
come.
I need it LOL.
But again, I can't tell you today what the actual size of that will be. It will depend on
need it, right.
a variety.
Well,
of factors,
if you
including
listen to Joe H,
state of the economy, state of
you'd
finance.
sell off when he tells you. You'd buy when he tells you to buy, and you'd sell when he tells you to sell. He comes in here all the time. Follow my live stream and subscribe.
No, absolutely not. No,
Turn on notifications.
As a just a matter of practice, the SEP reflects any data that comes out during the meeting, and participants know that they know this, that they
I
can.
gotta show
make
my
changes
mom
to their SEP
that this
during
drop
the
happened.
meeting,
I told her this is exactly what's going
well
to
in
happen.
advance of the press
I'll be right back.
conference, so that we're not running around. But that's not the case. It's
Jeffrey
never the case
Pettigrew.
that the SEPs
Been
don't
here since
reflect
2015,
an
I
important piece of
believe,
data
and
that came in on the
subscribed.
first day of the meeting.
Hi, Chair Powell, Rachel Siegel from the Washington Post. Thank you for taking our questions. I'm wondering if we could talk about the projection for the unemployment rate. Why has the Fed raised its unemployment projection? Is it because the models suggest that a higher terminal rate would automatically cause a higher unemployment rate? Or are you seeing signs that the labor market isn't quite as strong as we think it is now? Thanks.
No, it's not about the strength of the labor market. The labor market is clearly very strong. It is more just that, by now, we've continually expected to make faster progress on inflation than we have ultimately, and that's why the peak rate for this year goes up between this meeting and the September meeting. You see the fact that we've made less progress than expected on inflation, so that's why that goes up, and that's why unemployment goes up, because we're having to tighten policy more. And so it didn't go up by much in the meeting, I don't think, but that's the idea, is slower progress on inflation, tighter policy,
She's
probably
sleeping.
higher rates, probably held.
I didn't want to wake her up,
Just to get to where the kind of
so I'll show her later.
restriction that you need to get inflation down to 2%.
Oh, very good, Jeffrey. Very good. Very good. I'm glad you're subscribed, buddy. Cool.
layoffs versus vacancies trimming or changes to the labor force population rate?
It's very hard to say. You can look at history, right? And history would say that in a situation like this, the declines in unemployment would be more meaningful, I think, than what you see written down there. But why do we think that is the case? So I'll give you a few reasons. First, just is that there's this huge overhang of vacancies, meaning that vacancies can come down a fair amount, and we're hearing from many companies that they don't want to lay people off, so that they'll keep people because it's been so hard. I mean, I think it feels like we have a structural labor shortage out there, where there are 4 million fewer people, a little more than 4 million, who are in the workforce available to work than there's demand for workforce. So the fact that there's a strong labor market, means that companies will hold on to workers, and it means that it may take longer, but it also means that the costs in unemployment may be less. Again, that we're going to find out empirically, but I think that's a reasonably possible outcome, and you do hear many labor economists believe that it is. So we'll see, though.
Thank you, Colby Smith with the Financial Times. How should we interpret the higher core inflation forecast for 2023 in the SEP? Does that not then suggest that the policy rate currently forecasted for next year should actually be higher than the 5.1 medium estimate penciled in?
Well, I think that's why one of the reasons it went up was that core came in stronger this year. Yeah, what you see is our best estimate as of today, for how high we need to raise rates, to how much we need to tighten policy to create enough restrictive policies to slow economic activity,
like a praying mantis,
soften the labor market, and bring inflation down through those channels. That's all. That is the estimate.
All right.
Best estimate we make today. And as I mentioned, we'll make another estimate for the next SEP, and we'll, of course, between meetings we do the same.
You guys, it's not time to smoke, but as I listen to this guy speak, I need to smoke.
Hi, Victoria Guido.
So smoke along with me. It's a free smoke. We're free smoking right now, off the time, off the clock.
You all
smoke
expect
along.
rates to go higher, but you're also
I can't handle this guy
about
without more
what
bong
inflation's
hits. I
gonna
need
look
more
like
bong
next year. And I was
hits
just
so I
wondering,
can listen to his
given that we have
face.
seen some
I don't
change
like
in
his
inflation,
face.
Is
He looks like
is
an
that
ostrich.
primarily because of
It looks
wage
like an
growth? Do you
ostrich.
expect
I don't
wage
like
growth to be
ostriches.
sort
They're
of
always doing
a
this and
headwind?
sticking their head in the sand.
We're going into next year.
I don't like
with higher
them.
inflation
They got
than
big
we
heads
thought.
and little
So
skinny
we're
necks.
actually moving down to
Big, long, skinny necks.
the level that we're moving
Surrounded
down to.
They look
is
like-
still
they look
very
like a
large
big
drop
noodle
in
with a head on
where
top.
inflation's running now, well more than 1%.
Noodle neck. Hey, noodle neck. What are you doing there, noodle neck? Hey, look at you. What are you looking at me? You're looking in the sand. What are you doing? You don't even know because you got a noodle neck. Don't be noodle necking me, pal. Nobody's even doing that anymore. Nobody's even noodle necking anymore. Hey, nobody even riffs on a freaking joke topic here anymore, palsy. What are you doing, riffing? Nobody's even riffing anymore. What are you, Lee camping on it? What are you, Lee camping on that joke line, pal? Hey, you better uncamp yourself. You better.
The question is how much will you see from the largest, the 55% of the index?
What's it called when you
services?
When you break down your campsite?
That's where you need to see.
You better tear down that campsite.
A better balance.
Was it a tear down?
The labor market. So
when you disassemble your tent?
It's not that we don't want.
It's like there's like a word for that.
Strong wage increases. We just
one of the kids in the chat will tell me. In the meantime, hey, look at this. I'm smoking with you, Jiminy, and everybody else. Cheers.
Wages are running, well above
Jerome Powell.
Thanks. Hi, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin with Axios. Some of your colleagues have been pretty explicit that they can't imagine rate cuts happening in 2023. That's certainly not implied by the SEP. But futures markets have priced in some easing in the back half of next year. What's your view of the likelihood of any kind of rate cuts next year? What circumstances might make that plausible?
Our focus right now is really on moving our policy stance to one that is restrictive enough to assure a return of inflation to our 2% goal over time. It's not on rate cuts. And we think that we'll have to maintain a restrictive stance of policy for some time. Historical experience cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. I guess I would say it this way. I wouldn't see us
Surrounded,
considering
Keith.
rate cuts until the committee
Rate
is
cuts,
confident
LOL, what a
that
question.
inflation is moving down to 2% in a sustained way.
It was
So
a yes or
that's
no,
the
Jerome.
The test I would articulate, and you're correct. There are not rate cuts in the SEP for 2023.
Oh, no rate cuts.
Steve Matthews with
Did you hear that? No rate cuts.
Let me ask you about
That's not good, guys.
China. In the last few weeks, China has
That's going to
abandoned
cause crypto to
its,
crash right now.
COVID policy and been
It's probably going to
reopening
go under
pretty strongly.
17.6
Wondering
now.
if you see that as
And Ethereum's probably going to go under
disinflationary
1,300
because
right
you're
now.
seeing supply chains
That was really
improve,
bad
or
news.
inflationary because it obviously brings a lot more demand globally and improves the global outlook for growth and
See what
for
happens.
commodities prices.
And so you're right. Those two things will offset each other. Weaker output in China will
The
push
more he
down on
talks, the
commodity
worse it
prices,
gets.
But it could interfere with supply chains ultimately, and that could push inflation up in the West. It's very hard to say, how those two will offset each other, and it doesn't seem likely actually that the overall net effect would be material on us. But to your point, China faces a very challenging situation
Oh, my
in
goodness.
reopening. And we've
Oh
seen.
my goodness, here we go. We're
waves
going
of COVID
down.
all around the world can interfere with
Oh,
economic
boy.
activity. China, a very critical manufacturing place for manufacturing and exporting. Their supply chain is very important. China faces a reopening. They've backed away from their COVID restriction policies.
This is
There
just
could
a
be very significant
reconsolidation.
increases
That's all.
in COVID.
I don't know if you
It's
guys
sad to
can
see.
see
It's
the
a
drop
risky
like I
situation.
can. Here.
But again, it doesn't seem like it's likely to have material overall effects on us.
Hi, Chris Rugaber, Associated
Right
Press.
here.
Thank you for taking my question. I wondered if you could comment a bit more about yesterday's inflation report. I mean, it showed inflation cooling in all three of the categories that you laid out at Brookings. Are you confident that you're seeing real progress on getting inflation under control? Are you still worried it could slip into some kind of unentrenched, upward spiral? Thank you.
Right. So the data that we've received so far for October and November, we don't have we have some remaining data to get in November, but they clearly do show a welcome reduction.
Oh my
in
goodness, here
monthly
comes
case
600
price
guys.
increases. As I mentioned in my opening statement, it will take substantially more evidence to
780.
give confidence that inflation is on a sustained
777.
downward path.
76.
So the way we think
75.
about this is this.
Oh,
This report is very
boy.
much in line with what we've been expecting and hoping for. And what it does is it provides greater confidence.
Come on, you wet
in our
blanket.
forecast of declining
Come on, you
inflation.
third
As I
wheel.
mentioned, we've been expecting
Come on, you cock blocker.
in overall inflation. And
Come
core
on, you
inflation
Grinch.
in the coming year. And this is the kind of reading that it will take to support that. So really, this gives us greater confidence in our forecast rather than at this point changing our forecast.
Whoa.
In terms of the
Whoa,
pieces, we have
something's
been
happening on
expecting
Ethereum, guys.
goods inflation to come down as supply chain pressures
Something is
ease.
happening on
That's happening
Ethereum
now.
at 307.
Housing services, as I mentioned, there is good news in the pipeline as long as housing.
Somebody's
new
greasing the
housing
wheels of
leases
transactions.
Show declining inflation, that will show up in the measure around the middle of next year, so that should help. And the big piece again is core services ex housing, which is very important, and we have a ways to go there. You do see some beginning signs there, but ultimately that's that more than half, as I mentioned, of PCE core index, and it's very fundamentally about the labor market and wages. If you look at wages, look at the average hourly earnings number we got.
Tent, brought to you by Nays Garden.
The last payrolls report. You don't really see much progress.
You're not going to get this on any other podcast. Well, you're going to see Lucy on Ron Placone's. But that's it. And now I'm going to talk like Dr. Cindy Oliver with my hands like this every word I say.
We're looking for wages moving, down to more normal levels where workers are doing well and ultimately their gains are not being eaten up by inflation.
304. Oh my goodness gracious, guys, we're less than $5.
Excuse me, Michael McKee from Bloomberg Radio and Television.
Bloomberg.
There's a little bit of a disconnect between the optimistic view you just expressed about the economy and the changes that you've made in the SEP. And I'm wondering if you're reacting to the fact that the markets have loosened financial conditions, or if you feel the Fed may be a little bit behind on inflation, whether the recent disinflation we're seeing is transitory or not, and how this affects the idea of a soft landing if you're projecting just 0.5% growth for this year.
So, if I think I got your question. So, one thing is to say is I think our policies getting into a pretty good place now. We're restrictive, and I think we're getting close to that level of sufficient. We think sufficiently restrictive. We laid out today what our best estimates are to get there. And
I'm going to go feed the cat real quick.
It
I'll be
boils
right
down
back.
to how long do we think this process is going to take. And of course, we welcome these better inflation reports for the last 2 months. They're very welcome, but I think we're realistic about the broader project. So that's all. That's the point I would make. It's, we see goods prices coming down. We understand what will happen with housing services, but the big story will really be the rest of it, and there's not much progress there, and that's going to take some time. I think my view and my colleagues' view is that this will take some time. We'll have to hold policy at a restrictive level for a sustained period, so that two good monthly reports are very welcome. Of course, they're very welcome, but we need to be honest with ourselves that there's inflation. 12-month core inflation is 6% CPI. That's 3 times our 2% target. Now, it's good to see progress, but let's just understand we have a long ways to go to get back to price stability. No, I wouldn't say that. No, I don't say that. I mean, I would say this, to the extent we need to keep rates higher and keep them there for longer and inflation, moves up higher and higher, I think that narrows the runway. But lower inflation readings, if they persist in time, could certainly make it more possible. So I don't think anyone knows whether we're going to have a recession or not. And if we do, whether it's going to be a deep one or not. It's not knowable. And certainly, lower inflation reports, were they to continue for a period of time, would increase the likelihood of so I would put it this way, of a return to price stability that involves significantly less of an increase in unemployment than would be expected given the historical record.
Hi, Chairman Powell. Brian Chung, NBC News. You warned Americans of pain earlier this year as the Fed hikes rates, but with the Fed now expected to raise rates higher than you thought when you first said that, just wondering where we are in that pain. How would you describe that to Americans if the projections on unemployment find themselves? That would be 1.6 million Americans out of jobs.
So the largest amount of pain, the worst pain, would come from a failure to raise rates high enough and from us allowing inflation to become entrenched in the economy so that the ultimate cost of getting it out of the economy would be very high in terms of unemployment, meaning very high unemployment for extended periods of time, the kind of thing that had to happen when inflation really got out of control and the Fed didn't respond aggressively enough or soon enough in a prior episode, 50 years ago. So that's really the worst pain would be if we fail to act. What we're doing now is, it's raising interest rates for people. And so people are paying higher rates on mortgages and that kind of thing. There will be some softening in labor market conditions. And I wish there were a completely painless way to restore price stability. There isn't.
Tax the fucking
this is the
ultra
best we
rich.
can do.
You motherfucker.
I do think, though, that and markets
Stop letting
are pretty
billionaires
confident, it
fucking
seems to me,
not
that
pay their
we will
taxes.
get inflation under control, and I believe we will. We're certainly highly committed to do that.
Mr. Chair, Grady Trimble with Fox Business.
Hello.
You've reiterated today, and the committee has reiterated its commitment to that 2% inflation target. I wonder, is there ever a point where you actually reevaluate that target and maybe increase your inflation target if it is stickier than even you think it is?
That's just so changing our inflation goal is just something we're not thinking about. It's not something we're not going to think about. We have a 2% inflation goal.
Dude, we've got to bounce,
We've got
guys.
goals to get inflation back to 2%. I think this isn't the time to be thinking.
We
about
bounced
that.
off of
There may be
17.7.
a longer run project. at some
Ethereum
point,
bounced off of.
but that is not where we are at all. The committee.
Well,
we're not
it did
considering
bounce
that.
off
We're
of
not going to consider that,
1,385 cents.
under any circumstances. We're gonna keep our inflation target.
When I
at
was not
2%. We're
looking.
gonna use our tools to get inflation back to 2%.
We're good. We got a good bounce, guys. I think the market's going to come back. So we stayed above our Bollinger Bands. That's why these numbers are up here.
Wage growth and unemployment
These two
data,
numbers
I
right
wonder
here
if
that are
you're
with
paying
those
close
numbers,
attention to a
that's why you
sector,
watch
given
the
income
show,
level. Like,
because
how do
we
you
understand
factor,
what those numbers
potential
mean.
exacerbations of
Cool,
inequality
huh?
into your risk calculations?
Pretty cool.
Especially given the K-shaped recovery of 2020.
So I would go back to the labor market that we had in 2018, 19, 20.
Binance and
So what that
Cardano
looked
haven't
like
really
was
bounced up yet.
Wage increases.
Harmony One
for
did.
The people at the lowest end of the income
Bitcoin did.
spectrum were the
Ethereum
largest.
did.
The
Matic
gaps
did.
between racial groups and gender groups were at their smallest in recorded history. All of that because of a tight labor market. A tight labor market which had inflation running, just a tick below 2%, and the economy growing right at its
Hey,
potential.
hey!
So that seems like something
damn
that would
it.
be really
I
good
just fed
for
that
the
fucking
economy
cat.
and for the country if we can get back to that. And so that's what all of us want to do. We want to get back to a long expansion where the labor market
where
can
he went, man.
remain
You better
strong
hope I
over
don't-
an extended period
He's
of time.
coming back
That's
here?
a really good thing for workers in the economy, and we'd love to get back to that. That's what our goal is. There's in the near term, we have to use our tools to restore price stability, but we can't. What we have to think about is the medium and longer term. If you think about it, the country went through a difficult time. I think much more difficult than we can think it would happen here, but it really set up our economy for several decades of prosperity. So price stability is something that really pays dividends for the benefit of the economy and the people in it over a very, very long period of time.
I'm setting
So
a
when it
tape
is
trap
lost,
for him.
for whatever reason, it has to be restored, and as quickly as possible, which is what we're doing.
As soon as he jumps up here, there's a whole bunch of tape. He's going to get it on his feet. It's going to fucking drive him crazy.
We do, yes, we absolutely do. We look at
Here, I think I'm
it's our
sealed
regular
in.
practice to talk about unemployment rates by different groups, including racial groups and that sort of thing. We do.
Just fed him.
We keep our eye on that.
Whole can of food.
Hi, Nancy Marshall-Genzer with Marketplace. What would you do if the economy slows so much that we enter a recession before we see strong, consistent signs that inflation is slowing? In other words, stagflation.
So I don't want to get into too many hypotheticals, but it's hard to deal with hypotheticals. So let me just say that we have to use our tools to support maximum employment and price stability. I've made it clear that right now the labor market's very, very strong. You're at near a 50-year low. Where you're at or above maximum employment, in 50-year low in unemployment. Vacancies are very high. Nominal wages are very high. So the labor market is very, very strong. Where we're missing is on the inflation side, and we're missing by a lot on the inflation side. So that means we need to really focus on getting inflation under control, and that's what we'll do. I think as the economy heals, the two goals come more into play. But right now, clearly the focus has to be on getting inflation down.
Thank you, Chairman Powell. Greg Robb from MarketWatch. You spoke a little bit ago. You said that the U.S. it looks like we have a structural labor shortage in the economy. Could you expand on that? Talk a little bit more about that. And really, are you talking about getting Congress action on increasing legal immigration, things like that? Thank you.
So what I meant by that, the structural labor shortage, is if you look at where we are now, as I mentioned. If you just look at demand for labor, you can look at vacancies plus people who are actually working, and then you can take supply of labor by are you in the labor market, are you looking for a job or have a job, and you're more than 4 million people short. We don't see despite very high wages and an incredibly tight labor market, we don't see participation moving up, which is contrary to what we thought. So the upshot of all that is the labor market is actually, it's 3.5 million people at least smaller than it should have been based on pre-pandemic, just assume population and reasonable growth and aging of the population. Our labor force should be 3.5 million more than it is, and that there are lots of easy ways to get to bigger numbers than that if you go back a few more years. So why is that? Part of it is just accelerated retirements. People dropped out and aren't coming back at a higher rate than expected. Part of it is that we lost 500,000 people who would have been close to 500,000 who would have been working, who died from COVID. And part of it is that migration has been lower. We don't prescribe, it's not our job to prescribe things, but I think if you ask businesses, pretty much everybody you talk to says there aren't enough people. We need more people. So I tried to identify that in a speech I gave a month ago, but I stopped short of telling Congress what to do because they gave us a job, and we need to do that job.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. You say you expect growth of just 0.5% next year. Given that you've said the process of raising rates and getting inflation back under control will be painful, have you had discussions within the committee and addressed how long and or how deep of a recession you would be willing to accept?
No. I mean, what we do is we make our forecasts and we publish them quarterly. And if you look at those
Surrounded
forecasts,
by
those are forecasts for slow
They
growth.
want to slow down demand, but we
for
can expand
a
the
softening
economy
labor market,
if we
by which
raise
I mean
supply of
unemployment
goods
goes
and
up,
services.
but not
We'd have
a
to
great
work
deal.
with China.
And you see inflation
Oh,
coming down.
well.
You see rates going up a lot. You see inflation coming down. Those are those forecasts, and that's really what they show. We're not. We all, of course, we don't talk about this kind of a recession and that kind of a recession. We make those forecasts. The staff runs, and you will see this if you look at the old Teal books, runs alternative simulations of all different kinds at every meeting, and we look at those too. And
I'm
those
sorry
will
about
explore
that, guys.
different things, but that's just upside and downside scenarios. Of course, that's responsible practice that we've carried on for many decades. But no, we don't. We haven't asked ourselves that question.
Hi, Jean Young with Market News.
Hi, Jean.
I wanted to ask about the SEP
Hi,
again.
Jean.
If you are reaching peak rates around 5% in the first half of next year and inflation starts to decline materially, that would seem to make the real rate gradually more restrictive. Is that something that's built into the projections and into models? Is that something you would want to see?
So we do know that, of course, that's something that we know and we'd see. But as I mentioned, we wouldn't, I wouldn't see the committee cutting rates until we're confident that inflation is moving down in a sustained way. That would be my test. I don't see us as having a really clear and precise understanding of what the neutral rate is and what real rates are, so that it would mechanically happen like that. It'll be a test of for cutting rates. I think in the event it'll be a question of, do we actually feel confident that inflation is coming down in a sustained way? Thank you very much.
Oh, is he done? He's done. Okay, man. Cool. There you have it, guys. Wow. Now all we have to do is watch, keep our eye on this. Bitcoin's looking great. The drop was expected. It was either going to drop or it was going to shoot up really high. It was either going to do one or the other. Just depending how people responded.
Nice.
Now people like Joe H are panicking because they just sold off everything and they're like, wow, I need to buy in right now, because it doesn't look like it's going to drop now. It looks like it didn't even hit the Bollinger Band. You guys, Bitcoin went down to 17,700 and jumped back up. What is that? That is so weird. That was so weird how shit just started playing. Weird, right? It's like music was behind me. Nay. Dun 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 dun. Nay is talking. Da 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 da. It is news stuff. Dun dun dun. We are talking about stuff. Dun 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 dun. So what we are talking about is Joe H is getting people like Joe H, and Joe H is like, I'm done. I'm not getting back in. Okay, cool. I'm in. I'm staying in. And here's why. Bitcoin and the rest of crypto just showed resiliency and strength. And as an investor, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that can withstand things like that. And I can keep my money there, and I can continue to make more money there. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good about it. This is an explanation as to why I feel that way, okay? Strict numbers. Our Bollinger Band here was 17.6. We bounced up at 17,700.04. Okay? Let me say that again. We bounced up at 17.7. 17.6 was the Bollinger Band. We never even got down to it. We were $100 above it. That $100 is a nice cushion. I mean, it could be gone in a second. At the same time, it's a nice cushion and it's a good sign. It's a good indicator. And that's on this show. We're always looking for indicators, right? We have got another indicator right here. Now, remember, we're talking about support and resistance points. This is called support. These Bollinger Bands provided support. Well, it didn't even have to get down to the support. It bounced up before it got to it. Ethereum got down to $1,300.85. Now, 1,300 is not a Bollinger Band. 1,300 is a value that I set. And I said that I firmly believed that Ethereum had a mental advantage at that number. You wanna call it just, intuition. That's all it was. And I put the 13K there, the 1,300 there, not 13K. Does it say a 1.3K? It should say, right? Is there not a decimal there? It should say 1.3K. Oh, it doesn't say 1.3K. Typo, my bad. Now it does. Okay, 1.3K. Because at 1.3K, we've made it finally out of this swamp that Ethereum was in, and it just couldn't get over 1,300. And I had a feeling that as soon as it got over 1,300, that this 13K was going to serve as a value of support, basically like a Bollinger Band that I just made up in my brain because it seemed like that was the spot. This is an actual Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is a high five. It's like 17,575 or something like that. So I just said 17.6. I was like, that's another mental thing. It's like people are going to see that 600 and they're going to buy before it goes underneath it, right? So I just kind of looked at it the way I thought the masses would look at it. And now what we're looking at is a bounce up above both of those points, which is a great indicator. And now we're starting to form an upward wedge, a rising wedge pattern on all the cryptos, which is a healthy sign of growth. And you can see it. I'll show it to you right here. What we're looking for is basically movement here going up, movement here going up, movement here going up, and activity. This is the wedge. Right here, we've got, wow, on Matic, guys, we've got an upside down head and shoulders pattern forming, and it's big. And it's, boy, oh boy, if we get a bounce up on Matic right now, here we are, holy shit. So we've got a giant on the 24-hour upside down head and shoulders pattern. That means that is a sign of going up. So all we need to see right now
Surrounded B key
is for this to go back up.
Buy but buy JK.
This is at 90 cents, 65, right? 64. We want to see this number starting to go up again and possibly get up to somewhere around 91 cents. and that will reform this head and shoulders. This will solidify the head and shoulders pattern that we're seeing right there. Let me see here. We're not seeing the we're not seeing the rumble anymore. The rumble number disappeared on us. There it is. There we go. Okay, great. So we're going to focus on Matic right now. We're going to see what Matic does. And if Matic goes on to finish this, and we can kind of zoom in on it. I guess this is the most I can zoom in on it right here. And what we're looking for is, we want to see one of these form right here. We want to see this thing go back up. As soon as that happens, so this was fantastic, because this is basically validation of the support of crypto, man. At least today it is. It's very strong. Today crypto is very strong. It's got the stock market backing it up today. I'd love to see how the stock market responded today. I haven't looked at it. I don't usually look at stocks. But these are really good signs. So I want to leave you guys with that and tell you that I'll be back tonight. Okay, we'll do a night show. It'll be fun. Promise you guys. I hope you guys had fun watching the Jerome Powell announcement from the Fed, which led to a huge drop in the value of crypto as it was going on. We watched this giant drop, and it stayed above the Bollinger Bands for right now.
Surrounded be Keith.
Things are looking good.
Nay, good point.
We know what
Strong
the bands
sign.
are. Let's just see what Ethereum does. Oh, I could move that over more. Yeah, I just realized that. Move it over that far. And really get a look right here, just waiting to see if that's going to... Okay, 90.72, guys. 90.72. 69. So we want to see that number go up. That's it. That's the number we're watching. Because that could be an entire, because its Matic is huge. Could be a market tell for everything else. $59, it just dropped a little bit. 56. It is verifying the bottom on that other shoulder, man. I'm telling you, it looks like a perfect head and shoulders getting ready to form. It's got to turn around, though. If it doesn't turn around, it's not going to do it. 55, 56. A lot of volume just came in to Matic, which is good, over the last 10 minutes. So, if we want to see if Matic's going to turn around, we're going to want to look for those yellow markers across the board. Matic will turn around. It's going to happen right now. So here are the yellow markers. We've got green marker over here on Cardano. Harmony's not playing ball. Binance is not playing ball, but everybody else is. So let's see if Matic turns around, because it's verified, bro. It went all the way down to 51 point, 0.9051. It's got to turn around. Okay, we've got a nice high bottom on Bitcoin. That's good. We've got some markers, man. We've got a drop in value and a drop in volume, very slight, which is nice. Here we go. Cardano's leading the way. Here comes volume into Cardano. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Let's see what happens. New minute. What are we going to get? Low bottom on Bitcoin. Not good. Not good. God damn, I can read these charts so perfectly now. I understand them completely. Well, we got that drop in volume and value, bro. We got a drop in volume and value. We can raise this. Oh yeah, there it is. Look. Drop in volume, drop in value. Bitcoin's going to turn around. It's going to bring Matic up. Wait for it, because Matic's come way down. It's at 0.9048. We need it to be at 0.91. Or at least 0.9. I'm sorry. Yeah, 0.91. Right? 41, bro. This is a big drop right here. It's gotta turn around, Matic. Come on. Verify the goddamn reverse head and shoulders, buddy. It's getting too low, man. It's not gonna do it. It's falling outside the pattern, I'm afraid. I don't think it's going to verify a fucking reverse head and shoulders on Matic. That's not good. Oh my God, something's happening on Ethereum. Oh my God, here comes on Matic. There's a whole bunch of volume coming into the market, everybody. Look at those giant red spikes. If they turn green. Oh my God. Nope, they're not. Oh my God. So much for the reverse head and shoulders. Dude, that blows all the patterns out. Did Bitcoin just go into positive territory? Yes, it did. Bitcoin is just going in and out, in and out. Okay. Matic is just, no, it's not going to do it. It's trying, but it's not going to do it, bro. Come on. Confirm the head and shoulders. Here comes the next minute. A lot of selling. Yellow marker, flat bottom. Yellow marker, flat bottom on Cardano and Bitcoin. Bottom's raising just a little, but not enough. So here we go. Here we go. Yellow marker on Matic. We've been waiting for that. Come on, Matic. Drop more. 26, 28. It's way outside the head and shoulders pattern. So, man, Ethereum is almost at 1,300 again. We might have to just hold on. We'll see if we get some stability. Because right now this is a really bad sign. Everything was so good 20 minutes ago, you know? Everything is reversed. There's a trend downwards on the 24-hour. It just, Matic needed to just, ugh. Low bottoms across the board. Not good. Ethereum's just barely hanging on at 1305. Double yellow markers on Ethereum. Drop in volume, drop in value on Ethereum. Drop in volume, drop in value on Bitcoin. Yellow marker on Cardano. Yellow marker on Matic. Low bottoms, though. Not a lot of strength behind that. You know? It's kind of fizzling downwards. It's like it's trying, but it just becomes like this living thing. Like the Matrix. I don't want to leave because right now this is the response to what Jerome Powell said. And I don't want to turn off the show because we're basically witnessing the effects of it, you know. Here comes a huge drop. Okay, here goes Bitcoin's going to test 1,300, guys. Did I say Bitcoin? Ethereum. 301. Holy moly, dude. It's so bad. 1,385 is the low. It's at 301.54. 302. We're watching Ethereum. Bitcoin has gone under the 700 mark. It's gone down to 666. It's still above the Bollinger Band. It's going back up. 700. 704. Ethereum's at 304. We just tested the bottom, guys. Holy moly. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You know, could Joe H. have made the right decision and sold off at the right time? And this is going to go down to 10,000. And then
Surrounded
he
BQ.
reacquires.
Psychological 1,300.
Yeah, psychological, exactly. 717,305. I hope you guys can see these numbers. Yeah, you can see them right here. You can watch them right here and here. Very, very interesting to see this market responding. I want you guys to see the market across the board as this happens. Okay, finally, Binance is showing a whole bunch of volume just came in on Binance. It's amazing. Binance has not been doing well. Here comes a little bit of volume, a little bit of a higher bottom this time, but not a lot. We do not want to see a head and shoulders form. But right now, if everything goes up just enough, we could hit that second shoulder on a regular head and shoulders. That'll bring us down. So hopefully we won't hit a regular head and shoulders pattern. I got my eye on the 24-hour. Man, it could still complete a reverse head and shoulders on Matic. I don't believe it. which is possible. And Harmony 1, I'm not even thinking about Harmony 1 right now. It doesn't seem to have much effect on anything else. I don't know how much volume it has on the whole market. Drop in volume. Oh. Nope. It's breaking out of that little pattern. $304. So since I think we are so close to that Bollinger Band, I'll go ahead and I'll try to pull that up and tell you what the, because it's not 600, it's 5 something. This is the wrong one. I don't know where it is on here. Let's sort by name. Here we go. 17,582, guys. So as long as we're above 17,582.85, right? That's the Bollinger Band. So our next support level on Bitcoin is 18,401. So that's where we want to get to. If we stay above this level. Okay? So yeah, the reverse head and shoulders did not form on Matic. I'm looking at it right there. It did not form. There is, however, a possibility that a regular head and shoulders will form. There's one that could form here on Harmony, but like I said, I'm not really watching that. But not on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's not showing any pattern forming right now. Not yet. So that's a good sign. It means lateral movement. And then Ethereum might bring it up. So, let's just see what happens. Matic could bring this up too. I don't know what the hell's going on with Binance. Whole bunch of Cardano. For some reason, there's a whole bunch of volume coming into Cardano. Whole bunch of volume coming into Harmony 1. Holy shit. You see those green spikes? Something's going on with some of the altcoins. Alright, man. I will, again, I'll keep my eye on this, and we'll go live tonight. Love you guys. I hope you guys are having fun with all this stuff. It's interesting, and if some of you choose to make money doing it, definitely pay attention to what Joe H is saying, and check out Raish's on YouTube for predictors and stuff like that. If you're buying and selling, I check out Carl the Moon, and I listen to this other guy. His name is
Tommy Mosner. Take care, homie.
Clear Value Space Tax. Clear Value Tax. Guy seems to really know his
Surrounded
shit
by Keith.
about the economy.
Hash.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Tommy Mosner. Everybody take care. Surrounded by Keith. Everybody. Bye. Love you guys. I'll see you this evening. All right. All right. Those of you on Rumble, Token Tony Z, and the rest of you. Bye, guys. I'm just right before I end the show, I'm just making sure something crazy doesn't happen. There's a whole bunch of volume just came into Ethereum and Bitcoin, guys. Holy shit. Let's see what happens. $306 on Ethereum, $307 on Ethereum, Bitcoin's at 740.
I'm learning slowly.
Well, right now, everything looks good.
Oh.
Cyber.
Hey,
bro.
I have some issues with my laptop, man.
Oh no.
I have some, the last few updates that have rolled in from Windows, my laptop refuses to install them for some weird reason. I don't know why, man. Probably need to fucking reinstall Windows.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really pissing me off, dude. Everything was, but it's,
Did you check the crash record?
To update from name framework 3.5, it won't install from 2022.12 and 2022.12, and other comments to update for Windows 11, 22.82, and then the malicious software removal tool. I don't want to install that either. I don't get it, man.
You check the crash record?
I have. The only thing I crash in is in Call of Duty. Else I never crash.
Oh, is there a video card update?
Yeah, but it's not the video card, it's Windows. I have a problem with my video card update. Really, I have no issues updating my video card. It's Windows, the Windows updates.
Is Windows, did you say Windows was restarting?
Yeah, well, when I try to install those updates, install them, then it restart my laptop, and then it tells me there was a problem and I should stay keep my laptop on, and then it de-installed that update it couldn't install, and then I'm back to 0.
Oh, I got you. Maybe they have a problem with that stupid update.
It had been going on for a few months, and I thought it would kind of sort itself out with a new update or something like that, but it don't. I really think I need to reinstall Windows.
Right.
I don't want to. Are you live, bro?
Yeah, I am, but I gotta go. I've been live for almost 2 hours.
You don't want to smoke a quick bong yet?
I'll smoke a bong here.
Yeah. Let me pack one.
We're just watching this market here just to see the response to Jerome Powell,
How
the
is
Feds.
the market today?
What's that?
How is the market today?
Dude, it was crazy. It spiked up to $18,385 Bitcoin.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and it's staying above the Bollinger Band, so we're just seeing if it retains that support.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, right now Ethereum's at 1307, which is great. As long as it's over 1300, everything should be okay. If it goes under that point, I think we're going to see a drop in the whole market. So I just didn't want to go while we were watching. These are just the residuals of what he said. Now we're waiting for a market recovery, and I'm seeing a bunch of volume come in. Binance just had a ton of volume come in. You guys see these double bars down here. That's a lot of volume coming into the market for some reason, man. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, bro.
All right, cheers, everybody. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, Jiminy. Surrounded by Keith, Tommy Mosner. Token Tony Z on the Rumble. Cheers, guys. Ethereum. Massive spike coming into Ethereum right here. This is the volume spike. Volume spike still on Binance. Bitcoin with a big volume spike. Bitcoin going up. There we go. 1310 on Ethereum. I believe we are experiencing what might be a market recovery. If we don't complete a right side up, head and shoulders, we'll be all right. So if it busts out of that, there is a downward trend right now. So we just have to see. The trend is going downward. Definitely a downward trend all the way across the board. Are we going to break out of the downward trend? All we got to do is see if we break out of this downward trend. So there's a trend line. If we look at it on Bitcoin, we just kind of follow this point to this point and draw a straight line straight down.
Les Peter Guitar
We
Jam.
can see that we've already moved. We've already busted out of the trend line. So if we draw a straight line from here to here and keep going, we want to see this thing right here go just a little bit higher. And that, once it's out, and we want to see the same thing across the board. We're going to see the Ethereum. So we just draw a straight line from here to here and keep going with it. And it is just above it, man. It's just on that trend line. And we want to see if any of these other ones are going to actually show it. Now, Matic is not. Cardano is, it's trying, but it's not. It's still within the trend. And then Binance, though, if you draw a line from here to here and keep going, Binance is almost breaking out of its trend. So keep our eye on that trend line, and we'll know real quick if it's going to go up or down. Trend is your friend. I really, really believe that. right now the trend is saying downward trend, and if it's retaining that downward trend, then we should see a reversal in the we should see a drop right now. Like at 310, boom, it should start going down. 760, it should start going down. It shouldn't go above 760. If it does, these are our signs. Something's happening. It's cool the way I can do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's trippy. It's almost trippy. It looks like the whole thing's turning, like it's got an edge to it. Like it's turning, like flip, 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 flip. That's cool. Listen, don't listen to me. This is it, man. This is it. We're gonna see if we're gonna break out of the trend right here. 767, 309. It's trying, man. So if Ethereum goes to let's say 1311, it's going up. It's at 309 right now, 55. Bitcoin just hit 0% for a second. Here we go. Here goes Bitcoin. Wow. Here goes Ethereum. 309.70 it just hit. There it is, 310, and Bitcoin goes into green simultaneously. We're about to break out of the trend. 770, 782, 310. Let's see if it goes to 311. 785. 310.10, 310.36, 786, 788. So close, man. This is it's testing it right now. It's trying to break up. Break out upwards. 309.76, 782, 784, 309.92. Oh boy, Matic just got a shot of volume, and so did Harmony One. Listen, you guys, this is really exciting market. I got to take my dog out. I got all kinds of stuff to do, so I got to leave you here, but this is really exciting to watch, isn't it? So, all right. Okay, you guys, take care. Enjoy.